First of all, we starting a new
I'm
thing
just
today.
Taylor.
Yes, we are.
What?
Today is we starting MDN Network for you modern day niggas.
MDN. I
Modern day.
like that.
Huh?
You said modern day niggas.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause we got
Okay.
because the modern day nigga is way different from back in the day. They don't even have
Hmm.
like some at least the ones from back in the day. They knew they had morals even if they didn't follow them. But nowadays, it seems like they don't even care morally about what they do, and they'll put it out on public so you can judge it.
Mm,
Mm.
that's the modern day for you.
What you think about that though, man? Is it because of the generation before 'em?
Absolutely.
Like that? Blame it on you.
I mean, honestly though, bro, like how I feel, man, like the modern day podcast, I mean the modern day niggas, man, like it's so much influence. I feel like I don't really feel like there's no real consequence or
Right.
any real fear.
Mm-hmm. So what you think, Kat? Because you're
Um,
part of the modern days. You 90s.
you think I'm a modern day woman? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, cause I don't see any difference. Like, what is the difference between men now and men and like who were more traditional?
Well, for me, I would say men are was more responsible of knowing that they had to take care of that woman, even though they might have messed up. Now, everybody mess up. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? But his main priority was to take care of that woman and his family and be a provider. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, can I ask this?
Go ahead.
What era are you considering men to be traditional? Like what decade? Are we talking about the 50s, 30s, 60s? What are we talking about
And see,
when
yeah,
when you
now
describing a
the
traditional
50s, the
man?
30s. I mean, the 30s, the 50s, probably up to about 67, probably about to up to 70s. Then I think everything started going out of whack. What you think?
Okay, so
Huh?
how?
I'm
What
talking.
do I? You asking what do I think?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking. So like I'm asking. So during like the 30s, 40s, 50s, where you consider that was the era for traditional men, was it? Are we talking about black men or white men or men as a whole?
I would say men as a whole. What you say?
Probably
Um,
men as a whole.
yeah.
But before you answer that, I will say like different, even though they was in the same time as different cultures. So like I feel like black men treated their women different than white men, or I even say native men. No disrespect to the natives, but like I'll say them because it was more culture, it was more values, it was more tradition than because we had to make our own tradition.
Mm-hmm.
They stole. Well, I ain't gonna say they, but people, our our tradition was stolen, and we had to create it again from slavery. So if we
Okay.
going all back to that, I think they were different in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say
Can I
all
give
men.
my opinion?
What's
Oh
that?
Can
God,
I give
go ahead.
my opinion?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll just to go off of what BL was saying with our tradition being stolen. I don't think our tradition was initially stolen. I think our tradition was, or we had to make our tradition. Our tradition, first of all, it's in our DNA to
Mm,
to carry on certain traditions. So we naturally carry on certain traditions. But I do feel like the other half of that has been forced out when it comes to tradition. So it was deemed evil, either evil or bad or witchcraft or whatever in certain practices, or it wasn't godly. This is when Catholicism came into play, right? So, and Christianity was kind of like forced on us uh, during that time, during certain eras, and we kind of have forgotten certain traditions. Okay, And because of that, we kind of, as a society, as a community, have adopted um, white traditions. And I think
Mm.
a lot of the traditions and a lot of the argument that black men are making for the traditional man comes from the standard of white culture, even when they forced our ancestors to assimilate during those times because they created communities that fit them and required us to fit them but didn't allow us to fully fit them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like constantly, even to this day, we are fighting for a space in their culture.
Mm.
And even when it comes down to the argument of traditional women and men.
And you know what? That was a damn good answer you said just now, cause I think now that that speaks to why we act the way we act,
We try to they try to force their culture on, and then we adopt it.
and then we still trying to
Right.
fight with our own shit too.
Then it was well, was it? Would you say would it be ruptured?
In what sense?
Is that a word?
Our tradition being
Mhm.
ruptured.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, kind of like dismantle. A lot of us, as African Americans, Black Americans, we don't really know our culture. But if you closely look at the culture, I'm not even gonna say culture, but I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say culture. If you closely look at some of the small nuances between Black Americans and West Africans and Nigerians, we closely relate to them. Even other cultures such as South Asians, not Muslims because it's not a race, um, but it is kind of like a culture. But like just we relate closer to them than we do Europeans. Does that
Mm,
make sense?
Mm.
yeah.
So so the structure that we are fighting for when we are saying, "Oh, we want a traditional society," and especially because I think men are these so-called traditional self-proclaimed traditional men are fighting for this spot, and it closely resembles white tradition. Not
Hmm.
only that, it's like men are demanding women to say, um, until you basically fall in line into this white culture, we won't be able to have control. As if to say that the only sole purpose to gain this traditional man aspect and to be in this position of construct where it's mostly patriarchal, right?
Hmm.
You're basically fighting with women as if women give you that power because like they are the foundation of that power versus as a traditional man, instead of saying I don't want to assimilate to white culture, and as a traditional man I'm going to fight for my own seat and I don't have to force women or my women into into
Another race
basically
standard.
like saying following my lead under this standard because this is what white culture has said is supposed to be appropriate for centuries.
Right. So now that comes to a question is how can we all get together and write that out? Like that way you have both sides of the spectrum, black women, black men, to know what the
I feel
rules and
like
boundaries that would be between the both of them so you can make the family structure. Because it shouldn't seem like it should be that hard to do. You know what I mean? Like, but people just like you said, what you was right. They want to identify with the white culture. That's why we got a lot of this. Because let's take Steve Harvey for example. That's going on with Steve Harvey right now.
Mm.
mhm,
Now,
Post Steve.
because he adopted that, that ideology of like being married to one single woman and doing everything in the world for her, and you're supposed to be. I feel like that's a good thing. And then
mhm.
all of a sudden, it still don't work out because of her feelings. And if you look,
Uh,
go ahead.
go go ahead. And because I was about to say, you know, I feel like we need to separate feelings from logic for a second.
Definitely.
And and this is just to say that, like, let's look at the picture as a whole, because when we start taking feelings into account, we're only looking at a small portion of it.
Hmm.
Versus, because then it becomes what's the word I'm looking for? It becomes um subjective. So instead, let's look at the bigger picture first, and then we can talk about feelings.
Yeah,
So,
but how
like you
many
said,
how many women
how
actually will go and look at the bigger picture before they look at their feelings first?
to be fair, men are also in their feelings.
Absolutely.
And that's what I
Men are
always
also in
tell
their
niggas to
feelings about this.
and that's what I always tell dudes to get the bitch out of you first of all. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be calm in the
Listen,
situation. You know what I mean? Whenever y'all dealing,
listen.
huh? Go ahead.
My bad, but I don't mean to cut you off. But I just want to make it a point that when a man has an emotion, it does not make him feminine. I just want to make that point. But when it's emotions are common, emotions are normal. They are not a feminine or masculine trait. How you handle those emotions, how you react to those emotions, are not a feminine or masculine trait. Um,
I feel like emotions
it
and
all
feelings are two
boils down
different
to
things.
self control.
Hmm.
It all boils down to self control, which both women and men can master, and it boils down to like how you react. Like I said, like how reactive or non-reactive you are when it comes down to certain triggers, which both men and women can master, right?
Hmm.
Um, to to go back to what you were saying about how can, like, men and women, especially in the black culture, can come to, I guess, go against this white culture assimilation, is to first, men and women need to stop with the demanding, specifically like, because the way it sounds, and this is just the way it sounds to me as a black woman. It sounds to me when a man comes to me and he says, "You're not a traditional woman. You're a modern woman," and and only and only for the black family to succeed as a black family within this modern day and time is for the woman to go back to tradition, because that's what the man wants. But in actuality, you got to look at it like this: the man, right? I think to me it feels like the men want a certain amount of control that they can't get outwardly within a competitive white space. And I feel like that because they cannot control their outer world, that their home becomes their inner world. And that speaks directly to that man as who that man is. So when a man comes to me, if the man comes to me and say, "Hey, I want you to be a traditional woman because out here I don't feel valued and appreciated. So at home, I want to feel like I'm the king of my own castle, and I want to feel important because out here I'm in a competitive space at all times, and sometimes I don't feel validated."
Let you
Does that make sense?
let's let BL Brennan answer this one right here. Cause you know how I feel about what you said. I'm gonna just let him answer first.
You want to be honest with you, man? And be that as it may, I don't necessarily want a traditional woman
Uh huh.
Mm. Explain that.
because the way I was raised,
Mm.
my mom was she wore all hats. My dad wore all hats. You see what I'm saying? So there was nothing traditionally selected for my mom or my dad to do. Granted, they weren't together, but my dad cooked, my dad washed clothes, my dad worked on cars, my dad worked. My mom, she worked, she cooked, she cleaned. You know what I'm saying? And she instilled those things to where like I would never have to depend on a woman. So in hindsight, I want a woman to love me equally, but God forbid anything happens to me, she wouldn't have to depend on anybody. You see what I'm saying? So like, if a woman can change her own tire, by all means. I mean, I would like to help, but it doesn't make me less of a man or anything if you do it and I ain't there or if I don't know how to do it. At this point in my life, in times right now, I need you to be all you can be like the goddamn army, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to be scrubbing the baseboards. I ain't too good. I just can't cook. I ain't too good to do nothing around the house. It's a partnership at this point. Like we pulling weight to get up.
And that's what I was about to say. It should be a partnership because you're gonna get tired of each other at some point in time for dealing with each other past 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for the respect factor of the both of y'all, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't go and do nothing outlandish that's gonna tear down what y'all put together. Because say if y'all had kids, y'all got X amount, assets and stuff that y'all got. So y'all gonna give that up for Junebug and Nook, for a night and mess it all up. That's what you're gonna do, or you gonna, you know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. Like why? A lot of them do it. Cause just think about that. She messed with the bodyguard and the chef.
Oh, you talking about that?
Yeah.
Shouted tripping. Well, one, let's just because it's gonna say allegations because we don't know that it's proven.
Yeah.
Anybody can say anything. This could be like a money play.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can say anything, and it could be absolutely not true.
You're
but
right.
let's just put in a scenario that it is true. We'll say that. It may be something that she don't see in him because he in the perfect world, he's rich. You have everything you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In a
That's what you asked for, ain't it?
right
Oh,
in a
okay.
non-perfect world, he might be cussing her out, talk to her, walk her like a dog, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays you get Range Rovers and Mercedes.
Which one you want?
That don't care the way you call me out my name and how you beat me and how you like make me feel like less of the bottom of my foot.
But why is always you think it's him doing that?
Okay.
Why you don't think she might have been doing that?
Cause she the one cheating.
Shit, they cheat and do that. Yeah, they do that. Yeah,
She
if they gonna beat you down, bro, like a lot of times when they start to beat you down, and we'll just ask, hey, okay, that when they start to go at your character and shit like that, yeah, you might have pissed them off in some other kind of way, but shit, they'll tear down your character and still go cheat.
Yeah, you gotta watch how you talking to me like that.
Tell me, bro.
Cause I mean, I can be a lot of things in this world, but I know one thing for sure, two things for sure, certain.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a matter of fact, I'm honest with who I am, and I ain't ashamed of a damn thing I've done.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I do, I have the purest intentions in everything I do,
Mm-hmm.
even in the bad. Even though I know there's no wrong way to do the right thing, I have a genuine heart,
Right.
and I know that. Before you lay your head down on that pillow, just know I gave you all I had. God damn it. So
Kat, that's what I'm saying. So why do you think she did that? Allegedly.
Okay, run this back because I'm not.
Okay, we talking about
I-
Steve
I
Harvey.
don't be up.
Okay, we talking about Steve Harvey and his wife. They allegedly said that she slept with the bodyguard and slept with the chef.
Well, I got personal opinions about her, because I've heard things. Like I said, I don't know if it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Talk
Talk about the drug dealers allegedly.
Yeah.
Talk about she messed with one drug dealer, right?
Her baby daddy.
Yeah, go ahead, explain that.
Isn't her baby daddy or her ex-husband or baby daddy before she met Steve?
So her ex,
wasn't he like a big drug lord or something?
Yeah. So her ex-husband / baby daddy was a drug lord that was married to another woman, and she allegedly forcefully got pregnant to leave his wife, and then they got married, and then when they divorced, he went and married his cousin. She went and married his cousin.
God damn.
And then he got wrapped up and indicted in charges as an accomplice for racketeering, I believe.
Boy, you married the cousin. She did all that before Steve?
Allegedly.
Like that.
That's what
God,
Laura daddy.
And this,
the cousin? That's Laura
Right,
daddy.
and
She that cold? She cold,
Right.
boy.
She got
But
that future in them,
and
dog.
and this is why I say I have mixed feelings about Miss Marjorie because
Okay.
even though she's very, very beautiful, very
Of
beautiful,
course.
and this is like, let's say
Sorry,
like
Steve.
those stories are true, right? And because mind you, Steve left his wife for her.
Oh, Steve was married too.
Yeah.
Oh, he played
married,
himself.
Because he
he played himself. I never knew he was married before. I
Yeah,
never knew
because-
that.
he
he
was
met her.
married during when they got together. Yeah.
Yeah, when he met her at the comedy show was in 1990. He didn't divorce his wife until 94.
Damn. So he
Yeah.
been messing around with her about 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And he told her on stage while he was married that he was gonna marry her in a comedy club in Memphis.
Yeah,
What?
he told that story himself.
So
So
you
this
so
and this is
yeah, go ahead, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, because
No,
now
I was
now
gonna say,
if is a different dynamic. See, you ran yourself into that roadblock. You know what I'm saying?
and
You ran. Go ahead.
I was gonna say this is the reason why I was about to say what I was about to say. I feel like Steve put himself in that position
You're right.
because Marjorie has always been Marjorie.
Mm. And
She's
you.
always been Marjorie,
Yep.
and he wanted her so bad. And this is a classic. This is a classic man with money trying to save a woman's trope.
Mm.
Like
Um,
that.
What? Can I
because
insert something when you get
go
a
ahead.
chance, Miss Hellcat?
Uh huh.
Vroom, vroom.
Uh huh.
Zoom.
Zoom. One thing I will say, and shout out to my parents, Miss Tasha and Mr. Byrne. They said one thing for certain, two things for sure. How you meet them is how you lose
It's
'em.
how you lose.
It's how you losing. You ain't lying.
Exactly.
Golly. Boy.
That's why I always say, like, and
Exactly.
I've been through that personally myself, trying to change that narrative, but it always works out that way. If you meet somebody in vain, you'll
Mhm.
lose them in vain.
Right.
Yeah,
You're right.
but that's what I'm saying but Steve basically looked at Marjorie as a woman that needed saving, and he was like, "Oh, I got the finances to do it."
Hmm.
So
Just Captain Kirk in
you
it.
know, yeah, and he put himself in that position
Damn.
because, like,
I can't even take
Marjorie,
up
like I
for him
said,
now.
she's always been her, right? And Marjorie has always been her. She's always been her, and she's not the type of woman that is gonna settle for. You gotta understand, like with these type of men, like Steve Harvey, right? And
Hmm.
you meet a woman like Marjorie. A lot of these men will go to the end of the earth for this woman, and it's mainly because low key he loved her more than she loved him, and he knew that. So
Mm.
of
Been there,
course he's
done
going
that.
to go hard for her, right? He's gonna go hard for her. You know what
But
I'm
the
saying?
thing is,
Like,
but the thing
and
is
that
with
plays out in the dynamic.
uh-huh. But see, a man can't.
That plays out in
A
the
man
dynamic.
can't. Well, I don't understand that dynamic. Well, I do understand what you're saying about the one
Not
loving more
listen.
than the
Let me
other.
be clear. Yeah, let me be clear. Not everybody goes through this dynamic. There's certain men that do it. There's not every man does this,
Mm.
and it's been proven. Well, I'm not gonna say it's been proven, but there is research behind it that shows these tropes a lot, these dynamics a lot, and the reason why they do it. Um, so yeah, it's not all men, but there's a lot of men in these tropes because they want the woman. Like technically, Steve feels like he never has her. Like he's always knowing that he's gonna lose her, and she's gonna remind him of that, and
Like
that's gonna
that.
make him go harder.
And he risked it all too. I'm talking like, and there's nothing wrong with this. Please don't judge me, but he took on a woman with children,
She had kids.
baggage.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. How many kids she had before then?
I think two,
Oh, two. Okay, that ain't too
two or
bad.
three.
Lord Winston. I want to say 3.
Like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Three
want to say
kids.
three, but it might be two or three.
it's Lori,
Before Steve.
the oldest one,
God
and
damn.
then Winston, I believe. I don't know if they, yeah,
All,
but
altogether, I think it's about
it's
6
seven.
or
It's
7
seven
of
of
them.
them all together.
Yeah.
But like he went to the earth, you know what I'm saying? Like like him and his second wife had a rocky relationship. His first wife, and he left his first wife for a second wife.
Mm.
So it's a pattern. And so at some
Right.
point in time, it's like you see this girl, she's bad, she's got this and that, and you you ignore every flag because you know that's what you want. And then when you put it all on the line, you about to lose that line again. It's about to go over the cliff, and it's karma.
It's that's some karma. So it's so crazy how you can leave one person and it be the exact same person, but in a different body.
In
But
that
everybody, yeah,
sense,
because
you got to
and
look
we
at
talked about
yourself.
this.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And we talked about this, Joe. I think me and you talked about this, Jeremy, where the reason why you do that is because you keep repeating the same old pattern,
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
just with different
And
people.
that's why I said you got to look at some point, if all of your relationships in the same way and you jump into the same relationships the same way and it's the same characteristics, one, you gotta look at my daddy told me this, you gotta look at the bait that you're throwing out there.
Okay.
So if you
Exactly.
gonna get you a worm, you're gonna catch you a what's it called, a crappie?
You say crab is one of them
or
little
either or
bullshit
a
ass
bass.
fish.
Yeah, you gonna catch a bass.
Okay, so
you get some real meat, you gonna catch a great white. So one, you gotta change the bait that you throw out there because that's what you're gonna attract.
right.
You change up your bait,
Exactly.
you change up your lifestyle, you'll attract a different certain type of female that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you have to look at yourself in the mirror and like, look, what am I doing to keep attracting these bad women? Or I won't
Yeah.
even say
Right.
bad women, women that are not good for me.
Okay,
Right.
and then because a lot of times when you do what you do at your attraction, you go off of physical attraction first, what you're used to, as far as what you want preferably.
Now, that is correct, but in my standpoint, looks ain't necessarily everything,
No.
but you got to keep it together. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie, you ain't about to be walking around me looking at no duck now.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
if you got a genuine heart, because you know what I'm saying, I done dated some women that got flat screens back there, and has been the best woman I've ever dealt with.
this man, you tripping. Flat
You know what I'm
screen,
saying?
Flat backer.
Yeah, you know, a little pancake, you all right with me.
I'm thinking about just going ahead and moving that way because all them ones with them
Go,
big ass
go.
butts, hey, Poison.
Gonna get you
Del Bill
letter
DeVoe
Q.
was not wrong about don't trust a big butt in the smile. Their ass is lying.
Gonna get your
They
letter Q.
always lying. So
Heavy at the top, flat at the back.
he's so flat.
Not for real, but it's really like if you got a genuine soul, because that's gonna be the woman that take care of you the most. That's gonna be the woman that has your best interest in anything.
Okay, so should we now, and if that woman, because sometimes she'll see something in you that you need to check, and if she tell you, you should be able to take that, like
If
a
you-
man's supposed to take it, like you're supposed to take it the right way, because I don't think nobody would tell you nothing wrong with you if they didn't care about you.
Even if it is wrong with you, is you have to be a realist at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
One, you have to, if you're gonna tell somebody else the truth, you should be able to tell yourself the truth.
Yeah, or take the
Because for a long time, I lied to myself like hell, trying to pretend to be something I wasn't,
and
and it end up fucking me in the long run.
like that.
Hell yeah.
What you're trying to pretend to be? A baller?
No, because I was a baller, but I was trying to put on this persona that I was this different guy that pertains to a baller. So it really wasn't the money that I was pretending to have. It was more so like the characteristics, because I really wasn't raised that way, and I knew that, and I knew it in my heart. And the hardest that I tried to go against the grain, it always backfired on me.
Right. So, Hellcat, do you think it's a problem with adjusting to the person, or
It should be 50-50. Like, don't adjust so much that you lose yourself,
Correct.
but at the same time, don't be so stubborn that you end up mistreating the other person.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
some
But
real,
see,
that's
that's-
some real spill.
Now, when it comes,
Yeah.
and I'm just talking about myself personally, like now, because it takes a certain person for me to be attracted to. I don't know why. I mean, not a certain person, but a certain thing that make me attracted to you, right? Now, how am I supposed to control me loving you more than you love me? How I'm supposed to control that?
To be honest with you, me for one, and this is just my opinion. It doesn't necessarily have to be true. I think there's nothing wrong with the man loving the woman a little bit more than she loves him. Now, that does not mean you shouldn't be with someone who just does not respect you at all, or that has like no feelings towards you at all. Like, they should be able to love you. You know what I'm saying? To the point that they at least respect you.
But,
Um,
but
I
why
was
you
about
don't
to say
think the
that.
woman should love you just equally, or she love you more than you love him?
I don't feel like because I don't feel like that dynamic really exists. I don't feel like
Yeah, I don't.
the equal
Exactly.
love-
Hello, that a woman love a man more
Yeah.
than
Yeah, and it doesn't
Man,
exist.
shit.
It does
that
not
is
exist.
equal.
man.
I don't think that is. That
I don't
dynamic
think
never
so.
exists.
No,
I don't
I-
think that is equal.
I know a
Yeah, I
woman.
think I agree with Hellcat on that. Honestly.
I know
Like,
a woman that'll lay down in the street and die for me right now, and I had to respectfully remove that situation because you shouldn't feel like that.
like that.
Not for me.
Right? No, we're not saying. Well, we're not
I'm saying,
that.
yeah,
We're
that's-
not
that's
saying
good.
That
That's an obsession.
no, what BL is saying, he doesn't. I'm not saying that the dynamic of a woman loving a man more doesn't exist. I'm saying that I don't believe that the dynamic of two people equally loving each other exists. It's always going to be off.
Like a
Mm.
60-40 or
Huh?
is like a 60-40 or 80-20?
It depends. It depends on the relationship you have with that person, how it started, all of that.
Golly. And it's the girls that
So
think like that. I'm telling you,
Now
bro.
I will
Like, they
say,
do think
now
like that.
I will say this though. I don't see anything wrong with a man loving a woman more than that, but but the woman has to reciprocate that.
Has to.
She has to love and
right,
understand that
right,
that
and
man would do 10 times over for you than what you would ever think that anybody else would.
right. And I think, like I said, I'm not saying that the woman doesn't love you. Sometimes women do get in relationships and they don't love the other guy. It's
Correct.
probably convenient, right?
Mm.
What I'm saying is, um,
Sense of
what
security.
I'm saying is, I believe that the relationship will work better if the man loves the woman a little bit more than she loves him. So like 60-40 or
What?
70-30, but no
That's
more than that.
crazy, man.
Now, can I ask your
Yeah.
opinion on
That's
something?
crazy.
Can I ask your
Uh-huh.
opinion on something?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you said that you feel like a man should love a woman more, just a tad bit more.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that man should love a woman more after she's been broken?
What do you mean?
So like after she's been through the heartache, the financial struggle, and then this guy comes in and is like, you know what, I love you beyond measures. And she doesn't even believe it in herself. Does she have to be
No.
broken or like that Captain Save 'em as a
No.
lot of people call it?
Hmm.
No.
Okay.
No, because then you'll end up like Steve Harvey.
I can't believe Steve Harvey. He set himself up though, bro.
What?
Like, I don't believe in doing
I'm
dirt
from
like
Ohio.
that. Yeah, see, when you and that's the thing about people. They
Yo
want to play.
ass.
I'm talking about yo ass.
Because
Hmm?
because you gotta look at it, and this is why I say Steve Steve Harvey is not Marjorie's type. So you gotta look at it from that angle. She's not his
Nah, but
type.
this the thing.
But
Go ahead.
but she's with him because stability of convenience. But you
That's
can
some
tell
sucker
she does
ass
not love
shit though,
him.
bro. Like, think about
You
it,
never
man.
know, bro. You
And
living
look,
in Memphis.
but look,
You living in Memphis. Memphis is terrible.
I'm pretty
Shout
sure-
out to the M though.
Yeah,
Memphis is terrible, and she done
man,
moved out of
there.
Memphis in Atlanta. You got a Sprinter.
Yeah.
You got a Sprinter van.
But
You know, the last time I been in a Sprinter van, I went to jail. Okay.
hey, I'm telling you, bro, those Sprinter fans.
The fuck?
But look, if you know that's not what you want, if you had respect for yourself, you wouldn't go and waste nobody's time like that.
No,
I
listen,
had to do that.
Listen.
That's crazy to me. Like,
Listen.
I can't see myself.
Listen.
I'm saying she'll be big block, big nasty looking, whatever. But she got a bunch of $1 million. I'm gonna just stay with her and lay with her. No, I'm not.
Listen.
I'm not gonna
though.
do it,
How much
bruh.
we talking?
Huh?
How much we
reason
talking?
Why,
Shit, at least 400.
400 million?
Nah, pounds. Oh, talking about how much money?
Yeah. How
Oh
much we
yeah,
talking?
yeah. I say too, like how they saying right now that she's suing for 200 million to Steve Harvey right now. That's what she's saying. I even say 200 million. I'm not doing that if I don't feel comfortable with that.
How ugly we talking?
she ugly.
Fresh?
Huh?
Precious?
Damn, probably is pretty. Yeah, I probably yeah.
Shit, 200 million. I'll take her down.
Like that. I'm talking about pretending to love her for 10 and 20 years though. Like that wouldn't fuck with your
listen.
conscience. Is what I'm saying.
If I know that
listen-
200
listen
million
to
at
what
the
I'm
end.
saying.
I'm just
Listen
playing,
to
y'all.
what
I'm
I'm
just playing.
saying.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Miss Cat.
Y'all, listen to me for a second. Listen, when it comes to certain things like that, and I'm not saying men don't think like this, but women do. And I think men don't understand this logic because I think men have like egos when it comes to dealing with women, right? But I feel like on a certain level they do know for sure. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they do know, they just ignore it. Especially when it comes to men like Steve Harvey. But there are women out here that do not date for love. They don't marry for love. They marry
Hell
for
no.
stability.
Then why they ask for marriage? Is what I don't understand. What would you ask for
Because
something
she
was
that you
living
know
in
that you really
public
don't want?
Housing in
Listen,
Memphis.
listen,
That's nigga shit.
Listen.
That's why the name of this is modern day nigga shit.
I'm
You know
sorry,
what I'm saying?
Miss
Do we
Cat.
got
Go ahead.
clapping in this motherfucker? Clapping?
So sorry, Miss Cat. Go ahead and finish. I'm sorry. It's just the bricks of Memphis is something serious.
Damn.
But let me tell you, let me tell you why I can't hate on these women because they still get the job done. You know what I'm saying? But you have women out here that ask for love, so you can't say, oh, why these women are asking for it. There's women that really want to be in relationships for love, but there are a separate there are a separate group of women who only date and marry for women. I mean, marry for money and marry for stability and marry for gifts and marry. Look at a lot of these women in Russia and in Asia, stuff like that. Not all of them, but a lot of them only date for convenience, for stability, because as when they leave their families, the they are taught that a man is supposed to take care of you. You want to talk about traditional men, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is the trap y'all kind of set yourself up for, in a sense, in a roundabout sense,
Man.
because
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
because you're not because your argument is I'm not dating for love either, because you're saying I just want to be the provider, meaning like I just want to. A lot of these guys are arguing, we can be together, blah blah blah, but if I cheat, you can't say that because I'm providing for you. So
That's
you're
not
not. So a lot of
necessarily
these
every
men are
man.
not
Like I
dating for
told
love.
you before,
But
men work
I've
for
heard, but I've
butt. I told you that before. Men
but a
work for
lot
butt.
of right, but a lot of these guys, I've heard a lot of these arguments. A lot of these men are not also dating for love. You get what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna like BL said, the bait you throw out there is what you're gonna catch.
Do you want a big back or a BBL? Pick one.
So basically, you saying basically this gonna be my last question because we about run out of time on you for you. But so you telling me the man that you pick right now, he gonna have to love you more than you love him?
Yes, word is the word.
My God, this nigga here.
You want to drive the
You know
Hellcat,
why?
you gotta
Hellcat.
love her more than she like you, Mr. Chevrolet
You know,
Silverado.
Tell you. Damn it, boy.
and let me say why. Let me tell you why. Because I've been in a dynamic where it was the opposite and it did not work. You understand? Because I end up feeling used. So when we talked about this, we talked about how we put in a little bit more effort. Now, mind you, like I said, it has to be a certain level. I had to learn how to tone that shit back. It's not necessarily saying that I'm not going to do anything. I'm just gonna, you know, constantly receive. No, but as much as I was giving prior, no, I'm not doing that no more.
God damn.
What if a man said he wasn't doing that no more either? Like Steve.
Then we're not gonna be together.
Ain't nobody gonna deal with your shit, Hellcat. That's
If you want to
the end of
drive
your
the
shit. Now I'm
Hellcat,
telling you.
you have to love her more than
Listen.
she loves you,
Damn,
Mr.
bro.
Silverado.
Like, yeah.
You want
How
that?
does that even sound?
You want if your pickup truck want to be with that Hellcat? You gonna have to love
Bro,
her.
but see, you know the reason
I
why.
think
And no,
she
that's
left.
cool. Yeah, she left. Thank you for you coming up. Clapping for your ass. Get on my damn
We love you,
nerves,
Hellcat.
bro. Damn, she get on my damn nerves. But that's what a lot of women think like that,
My
bro.
little
So why
V6
do you
engine.
think that women think like that, bro?
I think it's over time. You know, a woman has submitted to the wrong person, and then after you go through that hoops, then you start to set boundaries, and you start to set the tone that look, these are my requirements, and if you can't meet to them, we're not gonna do it.
Okay, but you done got hurt before, right?
Yeah.
So do you go in that motherfucker saying that she gotta love you more than you love her?
This is my philosophy.
I'm saying, do you go into a relationship like that though? If you had to think about it, your thought pattern. Now, this is your thought pattern before you even get into this relationship. That I'm knowing that this woman has to love me more than I love her. Do you?
No,
actually
because I've done that before, and
Mhm.
it hasn't worked out.
talk about what?
I've loved her more than she loved me, and it didn't work out. I moved too fast,
Mm-hmm.
so
I mean, but it's like, how can you know? Like, not to love her this much. Like, I don't know how to love 75%.
nah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
Like,
fair.
I don't know how to break that down. So
It's
tell
all
me
about
how the
this-
hell you break that down.
So basically, it's all about like a sense. So you have to look at quote unquote the red flags, or
Mhm.
like you have to look at the what's the word I want to say? You have to look at the logistics of the situation.
Okay.
So when I go in, okay, this is how I normally like meet women. Of course, it's appearance. Like, okay, she looks pretty. Even on her bad days, she looks great or she looks decent. Then during the conversations, can you deal with my ignorance? Because as you can see just now in this episode, I like to clown. Okay.
Mhm.
But can you deal with me all personalities of me, like my comedy, my hard work.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you're okay with that, that's a good thing. Two, do we like each other? Not love, but do we like each other?
Mhm.
So on the bad days, can you look at me and be like, I still love his motherfucking ass?
Yeah.
Last but not least, three, like, are we compatible?
Mhm.
Like I said before on your show before, do we have chemistry? Do we like the same things? You know what I'm saying? Like, even though they say opposites attract, yeah, that could be true. But like
Mhm.
at some point, do we share the same interest in decision making, music, our lifestyles? Does something meet in the middle?
Mhm.
Or even if it doesn't meet in the middle, are you okay with sacrificing? And then I come in and I say, look, this is what I can provide for you. This is what I can do for you. Take it or leave it.
Mm.
But do understand when you take this is me. And I told you from day one. And if you don't like that, you don't have the chemistry to get along with that, then I'm sorry. You're a great
Mhm.
person. I feel like we can be friends. And I don't really hate anybody, but we'll part our separate ways.
But you know, for me, man, when I think about it, right, I think about the different cultures, right, and not just because I just like to watch what's similar about all the other ones besides Christianity, like something that she was talking about earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the Christian culture, you're supposed to just marry nothing but one woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And in other cultures, and more than one culture, I can actually speak on, you can marry as many women you can take care of.
Look here. And I don't mean to put I don't mean to put nobody business out there.
Okay.
I know a man that's similar to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can figure it out. That man has been married 3 times.
3 times.
All 3 of his wives went upside his head.
Oh my God. To beat him up. You gotta clap for that. Damn, that nigga, the original getting his ass beat.
And he done beat him back.
Shit. Hey, but man.
But he's a great guy, man. You know what I'm saying? I think he found it this time. And sometimes you go through.
What number this is? Number 4?
Yeah. And you go through some things until you can find it. You know what I'm saying? That's just straight up.
Man.
And like and what I was just explaining to you earlier, that has not always been me. I will put it out there right now. I am not the perfect man. Don't let these veneers
like that
in this jury fool you.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not always been this great person that you see in front of you today.
Bro,
I have been worst of the worst.
Bro, you have to grow up. Like, why everybody think that they supposed to know out the gate?
I used to a lot of women tell me I was an astronaut.
Goddamn. Astronaut. But look,
You have a problem, Houston.
we all learning at the same time.
Correct.
Now it's coming to a point where I think you should be older before you even get into thinking about a marriage. Like, you shouldn't marry.
I'll even say a committed relationship. So
yeah, real committed relationship. You're right.
One thing this woman told me was, and I honestly think like there's a misconception of like the levels of being with somebody. So you have the talking stage, the dating stage, then you have a relationship, a committed relationship, an engagement, then a marriage. All of those levels are different, and then I think a lot of people have a different definition of what those titles are. What's the definition, what they mean, and how do you live and react to them.
Okay.
And then once you figure out what stage you're at, and can you take it to the next level without going back, you'll be all right.
But the problem with men is they got to get that ass first. You have to have it first. Because, now think about it. If you don't have that ass first, like you doing all this for 8-9 months, and then you get with that, and that's a main thing for a man. I don't care what nobody say.
So this is my philosophy here. One, I don't have to go through this no more, but I have been in a situation where I have waited, I've jumped through hoops, and it was not what I thought it was.
Yeah, that shit with butthole. You know that shit clap. Do it again, dog. The wampest shit in the world. Huh?
Now, two, I've been in situations where I've gotten it very fast, and it's been amazing.
Amazing.
And then when you have sex with a woman, you not only transfer yourself to her, or her to you, but at the same time, you exchange feelings, emotions. Like that's something that's very intimate, and a lot of people take sex as an activity.
Yeah, we definitely use that as
exactly.
activity,
So I've been in a situation where I'm just doing an activity, and somebody's asking me, can they be the beneficiary of my life insurance? Ma'am, at the time I was 19. I don't even fucking have car insurance. Like, don't ask me no shit like that.
I know, but that's how you know they be on a whole nother thought wave than you. Like,
But
women be on a whole nother thought wave. Than
in
what
her
you thinking.
defense, I will say this. That is something that, let's go back to tradition and culture. That is something that she's held on, that is considered her purity. Did I say that right?
I don't know.
That's something that belongs to her.
Yeah.
In
and
society,
it need to stay with her.
In this society, that is something that's held very, very near and dear to them. So if you take it as an activity, I'm not saying everybody's right or wrong, but that's something that's very intimate and to women as a whole. And if you take that for granted, then you just scarred them for life.
Yeah, but see, like, if they know, because you kind of, like, women say it all the time. They know if they're going to have sex with you when they first meet you. That's mostly women say, right?
In the next 15 minutes.
Yeah. So, with me, now, if I see a chick, I don't necessarily think that I see him and I be like, okay, yeah, I will have sex with her. Like, I will because she's physically attractive. But then I have to think about the conversation. Like, I have to have a conversation with you.
I was just about to say that. So, on site, I see a Badonka in the Bikini Fiend. I would be like, good God Almighty. Exactly. Now, if I talk to you and then you sound like Charlie Brown teacher and everything you say,
man,
that's going
whomping like a motherfucker. Tell you, no good at all.
And right, and so like when someone gives you a privilege of their purity, of their woman, of their purse, as I was taught to say it, call it. If someone gives you their purse, you know you're supposed to be delicate with it. Okay. And then their emotional, physically, financially, you know what I'm saying, you're responsible taking care of that.
Yeah, I mean,
in that nature, you know what I'm saying.
To be respectful for all that,
right? Yeah. So then once I've given you, once they've given you that vulnerability and everything. And then you take advantage of it. That's why you got women that bring baseball bats to car windows
and bust your shit about it. And see,
and you can't expect anything less if they want to marry you tomorrow.
You can't, because some of them just crazy like that. And I ain't gonna lie, like it's an attraction to men. Some men it attracts them that the girl that crazy.
No, it does not.
Now they don't attract me. No, it costs too much.
But and then I ain't even cut you off, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, like you know, if that's women has been the target of a lot of things in this world. You know, sex symbols, you know, tools. I ain't gonna say the word, but tools. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if they can't deal with nothing else in the world, they still have their vulnerability. They still have they still have their purity, and they just give it to you, bro. And then like, what else do they have left? Insanity.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why you pick and choose. Like even
correct.
With us.
Correct.
Like, even with us, yeah. Like even with us, bro. Like if you, like you said, if you throw that bait out there, like if you at the strip club and you want this big booty stripper, you should be able to know what you're getting out of that.
Correct.
But now, if you're dealing with somebody that you deem to be sophisticated, working a job, doing X, Y, and Z the right way, and all that, you know, and you get her, and she still turn out to be like that.
And I've been on both sides of that spectrum.
Yeah.
Like I've paid bills, I babysat children, I've been on dates, all of this to try to prove myself, quote unquote, man enough to be with you, and then you be like, I don't think so. So again, I gave you my heart, my feelings, my finances, my emotionals, I ain't gonna say purse. My stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I was really there, because I felt like I was really down for you. And I felt like I sacrificed what I had to make you happy, and then you felt like that still wasn't good enough. So I've been in that spectrum, and it hurt very badly. But you know what I did? Instead of emotionally reacting, I did a couple times. I ain't perfect. But instead of doing that, bro, I picked it up, and I went over right here and said, hello, ma'am, how you doing?
Yeah, I mean, because you got to move on. That's what... You know, a lot of men, because, you know, men in their relationship are loyal like dogs, bro. Like, they really loyal like dogs. You can kick a dog, and then as soon as somebody knock on the motherfucking door, then that dog going to the door with you to answer the door, right?
In certain aspects, yes.
Yeah, but a woman is more like a cat. They going to move.
Explore their options before they realize
And
what
they
it
gonna
is.
move. They gonna move the hell on.
And I don't
quick.
blame them. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I don't blame them.
Yeah, but that. I mean, for us, that's still a problem though, because it's
Correct.
not giving you time to even get through. Because you got to go through all seasons, bro. You're gonna go through the summer, you go through the winter, you go through the fall, and then you go through the spring.
I was so emotionally damaged that I contacted the city of Columbia to cut this one girl water off.
God damn.
I was like,
That-
you gonna do me like that? You and your kids gonna be stank. Ain't nobody taking no showers. Nobody washing dishes.
Like that.
I was spiteful.
Oh Lord. Some of them need it.
I tried to call and get a car repo, but she made the payment.
Some of them need it. But then you think about when you do stuff like that, man. It's like, okay, now they gonna win in an emotional battle. You can always just
Absolutely.
go ahead and give them that.
Man, listen, this is a man's world, but there's nothing like a woman.
You might as well
There's nothing. A man is nothing without a woman.
Yeah.
This world is nothing without a woman. And
Yeah.
everybody needs somebody. I don't care what you say. Oh, I'm saying I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. Yes, you do. You need somebody or something. There's some people that'll marry a wash machine, but you need some.
Yeah, tell
You
you.
need something in this world, so you can't tell me whatever.
I know, because the woman is the original person on the planet. So
Correct.
regardless of what I've known and whatever I done gave up to now is that the woman is gonna actually be smarter than you, even if she's not.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Women mature faster than men.
Yeah. So regardless of what, we're gonna always be fighting this uphill battle with this.
Mm-hmm. And there's no right or wrong answer. To be honest, I can't tell a woman you need to act like this because you need to stop acting like that.
Yeah.
Nobody's emotions and feelings are invalid. Feelings and emotions are valid. It's how you deal with them and make your life better. So either you take these bad experiences and you let them mold you into a better person, so you can be a better person for somebody else that may need you,
Right.
or you're just gonna tear the world down.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how to feel. I can't tell you how to act. I can't tell you how to move. There is really no traditional. Like there's examples from the past that you follow, but I'm not gonna say like, hey, you need to wash my drawers when I come home. No, I would not dare ever tell a woman. Like if she wants to do that, more power to you and thank you, cause I like game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can wash my own drawers, and I've been doing it for 31 years now. So
I know, right?
no, I'm lying. I've been washing clothes out 7. So you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, like all I can really tell you is one, find somebody that's for you, and live in your truth. Live in your truth. Follow your game plan. Follow your pattern, and then take all of your weirdness and all y'all weirdness and put it together and make in all your flaws and make a beautiful disaster.
That's a good thing. Well,
Like, do it. I mean, it worked for me so far.
yeah. I mean, a lot of different things work for people, but what I suggest for men is this. Number one thing is check all the bitch in you that you can get out
Correct.
to help you a better man. Like,
Correct.
do not argue with these women.
I ain't gonna say don't do that.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why, bro. Because when it becomes to an emotional battle, women are emotionally driven. They can beat you with their tongue. Men are
Absolutely.
physically. Yeah, we are physically can do that.
You know what? You're right. Don't argue with them,
Yeah,
but firmly get your point across.
yeah,
There is a way you can speak to a woman without disrespecting yourself or her.
yeah. But if you say what you got to say, leave it. Don't keep going back and forth. Don't keep doing that because
That
what it's gonna
goes
do.
for the both of y'all.
Shit, you think they gonna listen to you? Come on, you know them
Nope.
bitches don't listen.
No,
to
I'm
you.
just saying.
They ain't listen
I'm
to
just
me.
saying.
They
You
don't
ain't
listen to
gotta-
no damn body.
Nope.
Yeah, so that's first, right?
Correct.
And the second thing is semen control, niggas. Semen control.
Put them rubbers on.
No, just if you know the bitch for a funky bitch, bro, just because you hungry, just because you horny, don't go and put yourself back in the position that you know that's going to get you into the wrong thing.
Put them. No, man.
Just the rubbers.
Nah, but like, yeah.
Just don't do it, period, if you know it's going to put you into it.
Yeah.
Like, if you know this broad is a hood rat, she wild, she going to bust out your windows just because she got some good pussy, you going to go back there and go kill yourself?
My dog said the best cat he ever had was a girl with roaches. Shout out to Hawk Diddy.
Hey, I almost can't even disagree with him if I think about
Best
it. You
cat
know what
come
I'm
from
saying?
the projects.
Yeah, 'cause you know I done been in every project down there. But yeah, that's important, man, because we have to start checking the things that we do in the feminine qualities that is taken away from our man character. That's why I think all these women disrespect us as much as they do, bro.
And
Because-
then men don't hold themselves accountable either.
Yeah, definitely hold yourself accountable. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I just started doing that last year.
Shit, yeah. I've been doing it good for a long time for certain things, but I think about when I know from the last, since I say about 19, like that trying to win an argument shit was dead with me then. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I already see that she gonna have me emotionally driven. I don't even know how to control my shit when I get there. I might end up busting you in your goddamn head if I get too mad. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
But a woman can do that shit and don't make her flinch, don't get no kind of angry. So you got to learn your powers in this thing, man. So I learned to just be logical about my questions with them, man. But we got as men to check that shit in us, man. Take that bitch up out of you. That's very important.
Correct. I think in all actuality, in life, I started taking accountability of myself after I was 25. Because I went through, open my eyes, I went through a criminal situation.
Yeah.
So thank God I made it out of that.
I say clap for that. I think that's what broke me too, Jill.
I'm a free man, no convictions, everything's been gone. But I started looking at for a long time, I told myself that was some bullshit. You know, they didn't get locked up. They was like, what? That's some bullshit.
Shit.
It shouldn't even had to be like that, but it was my fault. Ignorance is not above the law.
Hell no.
Ignorance is not above living a better lifestyle.
I tell you what.
Ignorance is not above right or wrong.
Right. I'm gonna tell you about Jill though. That Lexington County, where we at now, is what taught me to get my shit together.
Boy,
so you
shout
right.
out to the Glen, boy. They be back there sharpening knives, dog.
Yeah, bro. Like, Jill, if you got good sense, if you know you don't want to be around a bunch of nothing ass niggas all day talking about nothing, not getting nothing accomplished, talking about what they did in their past, then you do not go to jail. But
Don't go to jail. Jail is not fun at all.
yeah. So we at MD in politics about niggas and getting our shit together. We'll be back on the next time. Do some clapping for BL Brennan in the building.
Hey, and for the youngsters, stop stealing cars. The Kia boys, give us a break.
The Kia boys.
Stop riding around with switches listening to Sexy Red.
What happened to the boys that steal the Chargers? With the keys and shit, key fob and shit.
Them keys different, Bo.
Like
you
that.
take that phone charger, you
Shit, them niggas, hey.
please don't steal my car. My car, if you gonna take it, don't bring it back.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. Shouts out to y'all niggas. Hope y'all don't get caught, because if y'all do, boy, y'all ass sitting down. And I'm your host, Jeremy Spencer, not a nigga. We out.
Not a nigga. We out.
Peace.